So staying on this topic of the Steelers and Bud Dupree, he tore his ACL in late in their win versus the Ravens yesterday. He will obviously, of course, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. You kind of expect that. And Bud Dupree through 11 games, he generated 8 sacks and was on pace to match last year's 11.5 sacks. And this year, the Steelers franchise tagged him for $15 million. Now the Steelers will have to decide whether to tag him again for a 120% increase or let him go in the open market. And this was reported by Mike Garofalo and Aditi, excuse me, I'm definitely botching this right here, but Aditi Kinkablawa. I butchered that. Mario can probably correct me. Speaking of Mario, the floor is yours, man. What do you think about this? This is a big hit.
I'm be really well. First, I wish Bud Dupree the best of luck. He's a great player. I think he's probably one of the fastest defensive linemen I think I've ever seen. This dude is he's quick. He's quick. He's a hard hitter. And I hate to say this to Pittsburgh Steelers fans, but this might be your last year with Bud Dupree. I think he goes on market next year. I'm gonna tell you why. So you talked about a franchise tag, right?
Yeah,
Next year, it's a
they
franchise.
franchise tagged him for $15.8 million.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna franchise tag him,
Because
knowing
then if
that.
they do it again, like I said, they do it again, they have to tag him for 120% increase, meaning that he could be getting like 25, $30 million out of
Right.
that, maybe
Not
more.
not only that, once the his torn ACL, once he comes back from the torn ACL, we don't know how good he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know because that injury affects different players in different ways.
Right,
Honestly,
right.
it's the market. I really do. Um, it's something that Steelers fans might not want to hear, but honestly, that's probably the most possible thing is that he hits the market. Either that or you extend him or you give him a multi-year contract, which is something that you could do. But again, the problem with that is I don't know how comfortable they're going to be with giving him a multi-year contract, not knowing how this injury is going to affect him. That's the big thing. How is this injury going to affect him? If he comes back the same way, which is really hard for players to do, coming back from a torn ACL, then give him a contract extension. If not, I think he walks. And I think they save money if he walks, and I think he goes to another team. And it's something that and really, I know it's something that Pittsburgh Steelers fans do not want to hear, but honestly, I think that would be the best possibility. Um, Great play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I'm saying? If that happens, they're gonna have to look in the draft or maybe even free agency for somebody who could replace him. I know Bush. I know Devin Bush. He's on the Steelers. He's hurt. If he comes back, he could play a Bud Dupree type role if Bud Dupree ends up leaving. But honestly, the stats you read just shows you how underrated Bud Dupree is and how important he is to that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Um, Now it's like surviving the rest of your year without Bud Dupree, and
I
that's a
think
hard
they can do.
right, and that's hard to do because Bud Dupree is such a good player. He really is a good player. He really is an underrated player. He really is, in my opinion, he's an elite defensive lineman. He's one of the fastest defensive linemen in the league, are coming off the edge, and it's somebody that as a quarter NFL quarterbacks, if you ask them what's it like facing Bud Dupree, they'll all tell you. You know, I guarantee you, they'll all tell you how good he is because he's probably a guy that they circle in they probably circle when watching film. This guy right here comes off the edge right there. Him and TJ Watt combined tackles are the most in NFL. The second most is Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald. So just think about it that. Just think
Hmm.
about they're in the same category as those two guys. And but Dupree is one of the most underrated defensive players in the game. Because if you ask people who on that defense, on that Pittsburgh defense, makes it, they're going to tell you Joe Hayden. They're going to tell you Minka Fitzpatrick. They're going to tell you TJ Watt. Most likely, they're not going to tell you Bud Dupree. But anyway, hope he recovers and good luck to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Um, I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe the Steelers will tag him again for a second time. After this, maybe he will come back and do well. We don't know, but I mean, this could very well be his last year in Pittsburgh. And it sucks to hear that, but that's the thing with injuries, especially ACL injuries. You don't like you said, you don't know how you're gonna come back from that. So, hopefully all goes well in the end for him. Obviously we don't wish him to get cut by the Steelers, but that's what it looks like. So I hope he recovers, he has a speedy recovery, get healthy, and I hope his future's bright.